develop autism, they develop ADHD, they develop ADD, and they develop dyslexia, dyspraxia, oppositional defiant disorder, and other learning, behavioral, and social problems which may not fit into any diagnostic box. These are the children with whom pediatricians usually procrastinate. They ask the parents to bring the child again and again for observation after 6 weeks, after 6 months' time, and a very precious time gets wasted when the child could have been helped, and where these abnormalities in the mental functioning of the child and the physical functioning of the child are getting deeper and deeper. These children with learning disabilities have very abnormal gut flora. Their gut lining is damaged, it's porous, it's leaky, it's letting through undigested food particles, partially broken down proteins, alive and kicking bacteria, viruses, fungi, and other microbes whizzle through that damaged gut lining. And the most terrible thing that happens to these children is that this abnormal gut flora that they acquire from the beginning of their lives starts converting the food that comes along into hundreds and hundreds of very toxic substances, extremely poisonous substances. And these toxins then absorb through the damaged gut lining into the bloodstream of these children and get distributed around the body and get into the brain of the child. Autistic children are born with normal brains. Hyperactive children are born with normal brains. And dyslexic and dyspraxic and all these other children, 99.9% of them have no genetic abnormalities or anything like they were perfectly healthy, normal babies at birth. The digestive tract of these children, instead of being a source of nourishment for the child, becomes a major source of toxicity for the child. And as these toxins flood into the brain, they clog the brain with toxicity and the brain cannot function appropriately. How do children learn? How do babies learn? If you've ever observed babies, you would see that they listen to everything, they stare at everybody, they've got this shameless baby stare when they keep staring at you until they figure you out. And you can see that something's turning in their head, they're figuring you out. Who are you? Why are you here? What are you doing? They taste everything, they touch everything, they take everything into their mouth. What are they doing? Their sensory organs, their eyes, ears, taste buds, tactile sensitivity on their skin and in their mouth, they're collecting information from the environment. And then that information gets passed to the brain processes this information, and from this information the baby learns that this is mommy, and this is daddy, and this is a spoon, I eat with it, this is a toy, I play with it like this. But if the child's brain gets clogged with toxicity, it cannot process this sensory information appropriately. This information turns into a noise, into a jumble, into a mush in their heads. And as a result, the child doesn't learn that this is mommy, doesn't learn that this is daddy. Autistic children are known to pick up a hand of any stranger on the street and walk away. Autistic children don't know what to do with toys, they don't know what to do with utensils, they don't know what to do with other people around. They don't learn the language, they don't learn all the normal behaviors because they cannot derive any useful information from the sensory input from their sensory organs because the brain is clogged with toxicity. When the toxicity level builds up high enough in the brain, in some children the brain develops a cleansing procedure, a safety valve for survival. It sends one electric discharge through and destroys the whole lot of toxins. This is a cleansing procedure. It's a very unfortunate procedure because it manifests as an epileptic seizure. It is caused by toxicity which is coming out of the gut of the child, out of the unhealthy digestive system of the child. And when the level of toxicity builds too high, the brain cleans itself up. That's why people who have epilepsy, schizophrenics and other psychiatric patients, straight after the epileptic seizure, they are usually more lucid and their schizophrenic symptoms have gone, psychotic symptoms have gone. But then as the toxicity builds up again, those symptoms return and they have another seizure. So in the vast majority of children, that is the cause. We remove foods which are very difficult to digest and which damage the gut lining and which feed the pathogens in the gut. All those foods have to be out 100%. And we keep in foods which feed the gut lining, rebuild it, restore it, heal and seal it, and which feed beneficial flora in the digestive tract, and which nourish the brain and nourish the immune system and nourish the rest of the body of the person. And as we work on this diet with these foods, the people's gut flora changes and the gut lining gets healed and all sorts of physical and mental symptoms disappear. Autoimmunity goes away, allergies go away, arthritis goes away, diabetes type 1 disappears. It is an eminently curable condition. Majority of people believe it's incurable. It is perfectly curable, diabetes type 1. And all rheumatoid arthritis and all other autoimmune conditions and the psychiatric and psychological disorders in children and in adults. Talking about the diet, we have to remove all processed foods. These substances have no right to be called foods. They have no right to carry this noble name, food. Only food that Mother Nature has designed and the way Mother Nature has designed it are allowed in the diet. The bulk of processed foods in our world are processed carbohydrates. They're largely made out of grains, which have been processed and changed, out of flour and other grains, and from sugar. These are highly processed substances. They have no place in human nutrition. They do not feed the body, they only pollute it, and they feed pathogens in the digestive tract, and they damage the gut lining, and they are very difficult to digest. They are hard work for the gut lining. So the foods that we remove completely from the diet are all grains and everything that contains them. That is wheat, rye, rice, oats, millet, quinoa, tapioca, couscous, amaranth, the lot. Pasteurization destroys milk. Milk from any animal, including humans, is the woman's white blood with the red blood cells removed. This is white blood flowing through the milking gland. It's alive. It's got alive immune cells in it. It's got alive blood cells in it. It's got alive active vitamins and enzymes and hundreds of other substances, and it has probiotic bacteria in it, alive probiotic bacteria. Raw milk, unpasteurized milk, is a probiotic food. Always was and always will be. When we pasteurize this product, we kill it. We kill the cells, we destroy the enzymes, we kill the probiotic bacteria, we alter the structure of proteins in the milk, so everybody becomes allergic to it, and we alter the structure of fats and carbohydrates and all other nutrients in the milk, and many vitamins and nutrients get destroyed in the milk after pasteurization. And as if that is not enough, then our supermarkets order the producers to homogenize the milk, because they don't want it to separate in the bottle, because cream naturally rises to the top. And they consider that a problem. It's done purely for cosmetic and commercial reasons, because it's cheaper for them to do that than keep churning the milk and keep mixing it. Homogenization changes the structure of milk even further and removes it even further from its natural state, making it even more harmful to health. Now, there are studies showing that homogenized milk has an ability to cause heart disease and atherosclerosis and many other problems. And there are I've got a stack full of various scientific studies to show that milk causes every disease under the sun. Autoimmunity and cancer and heart disease and diabetes and learning disabilities, anything you like, milk has been implicated. What kind of milk are they talking about? They're talking about this Frankenstein milk.